In closing, if you'll permit me to say a few words, this has been a great event. I've been stunned by how many people have participated and really impressed by the presentations that have been given. Like I said yesterday, I gave the presenters and the speakers very little direction other than to describe the theme and purpose of the event. And they've put together their own presentations based on, I think, what the Lord has directed them to do. And so I'm extremely grateful for all of them. 最後に私は一言させてください。このイベントはとても良かったです。参加者の人数、そしてプレゼンターの内容も驚きました。昨日言ったように、プレゼンターに指示はあんまり出してないけど、この会議のテーマ、目的だけ言うといて、でプレゼンターは、神様というか天国の指示によってすごいいいメッセージを作ってくれたと思います。So, thank you once again for watching and staying up late tonight to be part of this final session. Before this began, I sent out a message. This is the message. I think the messages that have been shared, if you will watch them with an open heart and an open mind, have the potential to literally change the world. Having now gone through this online event with you, and seeing how the Lord inspired these good people to speak, and the information that was given, how the Lord has spun them all together for us, I confirm and I declare again that if you will listen with an open heart and an open mind, and seek to apply these messages in your daily walk, this can literally change the world. I truly believe that what has been given here is all our movement, our little group, needs to become what we seek to become. この会議が始まる前にメールでメッセージを送りましたけど、この会議でのメッセージは、心を清めて頭を開けて聞くと、この世を文字通り、変えることができるんじゃないかと思います。で、このイベントを見て、このメッセージの内容を聞いて、で、天国がそのプレゼンターを導いてくださったことを見て、もう一回確認します。このメッセージを聞いて、心を開けて、この会議で受けたメッセージを自分の生活の中に受け入れようと思ったら、実際に世が変わることができます。Throughout the first day of this event in particular, many references were made to the Japanese word for life, which is Inochi. In the talk yesterday, Yoshida Sensei made some references to chi, the part of Inochi being lifeblood. And so I looked into the origin of the kanji, or the character for Inochi in Japanese. Japanese characters, as you know, are pictograms, and many of them derive from older Chinese writings. There was no written language in Japan until about the 7th century, which is why the Kojiki, which we've talked a lot about in this conference, wasn't written until then. Our Bible contains information written entire millennia before that, but the Japanese history was passed down orally in religious rites and ceremonies until the Chinese interaction in the 6th and 7th century, and that resulted in Japanese evolving into containing characters. 昨日も今日もいろいろと日本語の言葉、命という言葉に、話がいきましたけど、昨日の吉田先生の、内容で、命の中の地が人間の体の中の地ということを表しているということで、漢字の意味を勉強しました。命の漢字を勉強したんですよ。で、日本の漢字は古代中国から現れてきたもので、7世紀に、日本語に書いた言葉がつきました。その時までは、 書いた言葉はなかったんですけど、キリスト教が信じている聖書は昔から書かれたものが入っているんですけど、日本の古事記、例えば古事記は7世紀まで書いた言葉ないから、書くことはできなかったんです。So many Japanese characters, as I've said, are either Chinese character directly or a simplification of one. Others, like Inochi, are combination of other characters or parts of characters, each having their own meaning. Scholars call these parts radicals, but you don't need to worry about that. だから言うたように、日本語の言葉は中国の漢字そのままか、簡単にしたものか、中国の部分、すなわちなんとか変を付け加えたものになります。So let's look at this character for Inochi. As you can see, Inochi, I have it here. This one in all black, there we go. That is Inochi. この漢字は命です。この黒いのは命そのまま。So if we look at the character itself, it's pronounced Inochi, or when you combine it with other characters, the pronunciation changes to Mei. So, for example, here's some characters. The first one, Kakumei, means kaku means change or renewal, plus mei, which is life. This word means revolution. The second one, unmei. Un means movement or flow. Mei means life. This word taken together means fate. And the bottom one, tenmei. Ten means heaven, and mei, life. This word, tenmei, means the heavenly decreed result of your actions or karma. これは日本人に説明しなくていいでしょう。革命は、運命、天命はみんな日本人の知っている言葉ですから、説明しません。So, now we look back at Inochi. This is the character for Inochi. The top piece there that is in red, this means by itself gather or meeting. この部分は、この赤い部分は人が集まるということを表しています。This piece in red refers to people. この赤い部分は人です。And this red piece signifies mouth or oracle. これは口もしくはオラクル、神託、神様の知識という意味です。So taken all together now, the word Inochi means literally people gather together to receive the oracle. 全部合わせたら人が集まって天国の知識をいただくという意味ですね、命は。People gather together to receive the oracle. This character means life, the core concept or essence of our being. But what is an oracle? I think in the 90s it was a computer company. But lately we've been given a new definition. We believe that oracle refers to prophetic presence or the doctrines, commandments, and revelations of God. だからこの漢字を全体、命と呼んで神様の言葉を受ける意味があるんです。最近またその意味が分かってきて、オラクル、なんて言うんでしたっけ？神託が神様の預言者、すなわち神様の言葉を受けることです。So, gathering to hear the words of life, as Yoshida-san said yesterday, life cannot survive without nourishment. Doesn't his counsel ring true with the words written in the Book of Mormon and spoken by the great oracle King Benjamin? How had you ought to thank your heavenly King? I say unto you, my brethren, that if you should render all the thanks and praise which your whole souls have power to possess, to that God who has created you and kept and preserved you and caused that ye should rejoice, who has created you from the beginning and art preserving you from day to day by lending you breath, that ye may live and move and do according to your will, and even supporting you from one moment to another. 今の言葉は、私たちの聖典として信じているモルモン書という本の中のオラクル、神託、預言者ベンジャミン王という人の言葉です。God has created ways for us to receive that which is necessary to survive, such as food, air, water, friends, or human contact. 神様は、私たちの生命が続くように、食事、空気、水、友達などを作ってくださったんです。But Inochi, the breath that God lends us, the support that He gives us to help us be able to move and act, that is the oracles, the wisdom, knowledge, and truth that exists. Therefore, for us to truly live or to be alive, we need to seek out and find and take in any and all truth we can find that God has prepared for us and given us. It's everywhere. It's foolish for any of us to think we have all truth. 命は神様がくださる、サポート、息がその知恵、知識、真実が神様の命です。ですから私たちは本当に生きる命を暮らすのに大切なのは、すべての真理、すべての神様が作ってくださった真実を探して、見つけることです。すべての真実を持っていると思ったらそれはあんまり賢くないと思います。聖書に書かれているのはこれである。It is written in the Bible, it is the glory of God to conceal a matter, but the glory of kings is to search out a matter. There are those among us who believe a restoration of all God's truth is underway in our world. As Denver Snuffer has said, we seek that because it's part of our religion. We seek truth no matter where it lies. 私たちの人数の中に神様の真実が回復される運動が始まっていると信じています。さっきスナッファーさん、デンバースナッファーが言ったように、それを求めています。なぜなら私たちの信じている宗教の一部です。どこに真理、真実があってもそれを求めています。I believe that we are all part of the same big family of God. I think that means that deep down in our historical roots, in our DNA, we are all of the same religion or faith. I believe that Buddha was a holy man. Jill told us yesterday of men of the Buddhist faith who commune with Jesus. Why not? 私は全ての人類は大きな家族だと思います。それは神様の家族だと思います。すなわち、深く見てみると、私たちの信仰、家族のルーツはみんな同じところにあると思います。ブッダは聖なる人間だと思ったんですよ。イエス様も同じですよ。ジルさん、昨日、ジルさんは、仏教を信じながらイエス様と、会話というか、インタラクションをする人がいると言ったんですよ。それは信じてもいいじゃないですか。I believe that the same God visited Buddha, and that same God visited ancient prophets of the Bible, and of the Book of Mormon, which we consider to be scripture. We have looked at the creation stories, Adam and Eve, Izanami and Izanagi. They are all so similar, yet so ancient, it is easy to see how, over time, they might evolve or morph into today's version. Especially in Japan, where written language did not exist until millennia after the fact. On the American continent, we have the Navajo tribe that did not have a written language either until lately. They passed their stories and legends along by song and verbal storytelling. The same creation told from the perceptions of different culture, language, and history. Why not? 私は、神様が、ブッダさんにも、聖書の預言者にも私たちの、聖典だと信じているモルモン書にも預言者があってその同じ神様がみんな訪れたと思います。聖書の漱石、日本のイザナギ、イザナミ、同じ物語というような感じはします。で、同じ物語でしたら、何千年も、人間の解釈とか、信じ方によって変わっていく可能性は、あると思います。特に日本では書いた言葉ないから、歌、物語で、世代から世代へと回していきましたので、それも信じてもいいでしょうか。I believe that all God's truth was given to all nations in the beginning by the gods, the same gods. In Japan, it is said there are some 8 million gods, and each year they gather to Izumo Grand Shrine, located just an hour from here. Christians believe that when Christ returns, he will be joined by his concourses of angels. Why not? すべての神様の真実は、すべての国々に最初に与えられたことを信じています。同じ神様から同じ真実です。日本では800万人の神様がいると言われています。で、その神様は毎年出雲大社に集まることを祭りされています。キリスト教は、イエス・キリストが再びこの世に現れてくるときに何千万人の天使もついてくると信じています。これも信じてもいいじゃないですか。Why not understand that we are all on this planet as part of the same religion? Why not awaken to the fact that all nations are really just one nation, God's nation? Why can't this gathering or this event mean the beginning of the gathering of nations into one as foretold in Scripture? Why not? 私たちはみんな同じこの地球におる人はみんな同じ宗教、同じ家族だと信じてもいいじゃないですか。これ神様の国だと信じてもいいじゃないですか。この会議は、最後の日に約束されている人を集める約束されている時代と信じてもいいじゃないですか。When we rescheduled this conference in October, it was scheduled to begin on the same day as Sukkot, or the Jewish Feast of Tabernacles, which began on Friday. This yearly feast or festival was and is commemorated by the Jews and has a twofold significance. First, to celebrate the end of the growing season and the harvest, and reaping the rewards of patient labor. This relates to faithfulness. It also relates to another count we have in Scripture about judgment, where fruit is gathered and the rest is burned. この会議は、もともとは10月2日、スコットっていうユダヤ教の祭りで、帰り法祭りというものです。これを毎年、ユダヤ教が祭りしている日で、意味は2つあります。一つは、一生懸命作ったものを刈り取る季節を祭りをすると、労働をした季節を祝うものです。刈り法祭りですね。はい。夏の植物の育つ時期が終わる、一生懸命作ったものを刈り取る、その2つの意味ですね。The second part of this festival's separation is the exodus of Israelites from Egypt and wandering in the wilderness. They have been scattered with the promise of being gathered back in again. We have heard about these similarities of ancient Hebrew, ancient Jewish practices, and those of the Japanese and other Asian religions. Sukkot signifies the wandering and the journey, and the gathering and the harvest. この2つ目の意味は、イスラエル人が、エジプトから逃げて、砂漠で 散らばっていたことを祝う祭りです。散らばっていたのは、また集まる約束を得て砂漠に出ました。古代イスラエルユダヤ教の、宗教と日本の古代、今でも行われている、宗教の共通点の話は昨日も今日もいっぱい出ました。この帰り穂祭りはその砂漠で散らばったこと、そしてまた、集まられる約束のことを祝っています。It is my most heartfelt hope and desire that this event, and these messages, might plant a seed in the hearts of people that have heard these messages that will enable that gathering to at long last begin. There is a prophetic voice being heard now in this world, perhaps more. There is an opportunity for us to begin the process of gathering. That prophetic voice, and these messages, and the Spirit within all of our hearts, it is enough. It is all we need. The truths given here are all we need if we only open our hearts and accept. I ask again, why not? 私の心からの望みは、このイベント、この2日間で聞いたメッセージは、人の心の中に種をまいて、でその種が、人を集めることになるように望んでいます。今現代この世で預言者の声が聞こえています。一人より多いかもしれないです。だからこれは人を集める機会の一つだと思います。このメッセージ、この預言者の言葉、それは十分です。もうこれ以上はいりません。この真実、この真理、この集まった意味は、心を開いて、真理を受け入れたら、もうそれで十分です。これも信じていいじゃないですか。信じましょうか。Thank you once again for being with us. I join my message to those of others, and I present this collected conference of materials to our group with the hope it will be studied and used in the benefit of all of our human family. 一緒に集まってくれてありがとうございます。私のメッセージを、他の人のメッセージにつなげて、一緒の会議のメッセージをみんなプレゼントします。これを勉強し、また、この人類の家族はもっともっと、強くなり、迷っている人が、集まられることをお祈りしています。